In a stunning display of dominance, 21-year-old Coco Gauff stood victorious on the red clay of Roland Garros, hoisting the French Open trophy for the second time in her career, a moment that sent shockwaves through the tennis world and reaffirmed her status as a generational talent. But in a twist that quickly went viral, Gauff posted a picture not with the actual Grand Slam trophy, but with a miniature replica, prompting widespread confusion and even a cheeky rebuke from Andy Murray, who tweeted, "Surely we can do better than this." That brief but bizarre moment sparked heated online debate about gender equality in sports and the traditions of trophy presentation. Yet, beyond the headlines and memes, it begged a deeper question. How did this composed, smiling young woman evolve from a gifted child prodigy into one of the richest, most marketable, and most influential figures in global sports? With a net worth reportedly exceeding $35 million, endorsement deals spanning iconic brands from Rolex to UPS, and a growing portfolio of luxury real estate and high-performance vehicles, Coco Gauff is no longer just a tennis star. She's a cultural phenomenon. Today, we take a comprehensive look at her transformation, from the early sacrifices of her family to the criticism she's faced on and off the court, to understand the story behind the headlines. This isn't just a celebration of athleticism, but a look into what happens when talent, discipline, and brand building collide to create a modern sports empire. Gauff's life off the court is as compelling as her game on it, and we begin with the roots of her remarkable journey. Coco Gauff was born on March 13, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia, into a family whose DNA was practically coded for athletic excellence. Her father, Corey, played college basketball at Georgia State University, while her mother, Candy, was a track and field standout at Florida State. This foundation of physical prowess and competitive spirit defined Coco's upbringing from the start. At just 7 years old, her parents made a bold, life-altering decision. They uprooted their entire family and relocated to Delray Beach, Florida, all in the name of providing Coco with elite tennis training. It was a gamble not many families would dare take, but for the Gauffs, the risk was worth every bit of the uncertainty. In Florida, Coco began working with top-tier coaches and was soon accepted into the prestigious Mouratoglou Tennis Academy in France, run by Serena Williams' longtime mentor, Patrick Mouratoglou. Training overseas at just 10 years old, Coco faced pressures and expectations that would buckle most adults. As a young black girl in a sport that still struggles with diversity, Coco constantly had to prove she belonged. Comparisons to Serena and Venus Williams flooded her early years, putting immense mental strain on her development. She later spoke candidly about the toll this took. Being labeled a prodigy was both a blessing and a burden. But instead of crumbling under the weight, she channeled that energy into determination. Her early sacrifices and those of her parents became the launch pad for a career that would soon take the world by storm. By the time she stepped onto the grass courts at Wimbledon, she was no longer just a prospect. She was a phenomenon in the making. The tennis world stood still in 2019 when a 15-year-old Coco Gauff marched onto Wimbledon's famed center court and stunned five-time champion Venus Williams in the opening round. It wasn't just the upset that made headlines. It was the composure, the fire, and the statement behind it. A new era had arrived. With that single victory, Gauff cemented her place in the international spotlight, becoming the youngest player to ever qualify for Wimbledon's main draw. She followed up that seismic breakthrough with her first WTA singles title at the Linz Open later that year, confirming she was more than just a viral sensation. In 2022, she reached her first Grand Slam final at the French Open but fell to Iga Świątek. Many wondered if the moment had come too soon, but Gauff was undeterred. She roared back at the 2023 US Open, capturing her first major by defeating Aryna Sabalenka in an electrifying showdown. Her win in New York was not just a personal triumph, but a cultural moment. She became a symbol of resilience and youth empowerment. The following year, she stormed into the WTA finals in Riyadh, walking away with a historic $4.8 million paycheck, the largest single event prize in the history of women's sports. And in 2025, her redemption arc came full circle in Paris, where she defeated Sabalenka once again to capture her second Grand Slam. With 10 WTA singles titles and 9 doubles championships, Coco climbed to number 2 in singles and reached the coveted number, first ranking in doubles. Her legacy was no longer just potential, it was proven dominance, sealed with every serve, every rally, and every unbreakable moment under pressure. As Coco Gauff's trophy collection grew, so did her income, and fast. With over $27 million in prize money, she's among the highest earning athletes in tennis history before even reaching her mid-20s. But it's her off-court deals that have turned her into a financial powerhouse. In 2024 alone, Forbes listed her as the highest paid female athlete in the world, thanks to a robust portfolio of endorsements with some of the biggest names in global commerce. New Balance, her primary apparel sponsor, created a signature line of tennis gear just for her, each product drop selling out within hours. Rolex tapped her as one of their youngest brand ambassadors ever, and Barilla, the Italian food giant, built an entire campaign around her image of health and youth. Add to that partnerships with UPS, Bose, and Head Rackets, and Coco's endorsement empire has expanded across both lifestyle and performance sectors. Experts estimate her net worth at $35 million and growing. She's appeared in ad campaigns across television, social media, and major print outlets, each one reinforcing her image as a dynamic, intelligent, and globally beloved athlete. But what truly sets Gauff apart is how she's used her platform, not just to sell products, but to shape conversations about race, gender, and youth empowerment in sports. She's one of the few athletes whose commercial appeal is matched by her cultural impact. With brands lining up and fans fiercely loyal, Coco has proven she's more than just an athlete. She's a brand, a movement, and a multi-million-dollar business, all rolled into one. Behind every headline-making athlete is a story told in brick, glass, and landscape luxury, and Coco Gauff is no exception. At just 21, she already owns a trio of remarkable properties that reflect her growing empire. Her flagship residence, a $15 million waterfront estate in Delray Beach, Florida, offers over 12,000 square feet of sleek, sun-soaked opulence. This architectural masterpiece boasts a grand foyer that opens into a modern living room framed by floor-to-ceiling windows, showcasing the serene intracoastal waterway. The home's interior is defined by luxury: a chef's kitchen with top-tier Sub-Zero and Wolf appliances, a formal dining room fit for 20, and a private primary suite with its own waterfront terrace and spa-style bathroom. Downstairs, there's a 4K-equipped home theater, full gym, yoga studio, sauna, and steam room, all designed to accommodate a champion's lifestyle. The exterior transitions seamlessly from indoor grandeur to outdoor paradise, where a resort-style infinity pool with swim-up bar, fire pit lounge, and private yacht dock elevate this residence into something more akin to a high-end retreat. But the Delray Mansion is just the beginning. Gauff's second property, a $12.5 million modern retreat in Miami, is equally jaw-dropping, albeit with a more urban flavor. Here, sleek lines and expansive glass walls dominate the 9,500 square foot space, offering panoramic views of the city's skyline and immediate access to nightlife and high culture. A lap pool, private spa room, outdoor kitchen, and a small putting green provide both recreation and relaxation, while interiors feature minimalist design with a focus on technology and smart home efficiency. Her third residence in Atlanta is the most modest by comparison, but only by her standards. At $8.9 million and 7,800 square feet, this estate leans more traditional and family-oriented, featuring a warm stone fireplace, open concept kitchen, home theater, and backyard pool deck perfect for barbecues and holidays. More than mere real estate, these homes represent chapters in Gauff's journey, where she came from, where she is, and where she's headed. If Coco Gauff's homes tell a story of rising influence, then her cars scream confidence and control. The 21-year-old tennis icon doesn't just win matches, she arrives in style. Leading her luxury fleet is the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge, an opulent SUV valued at approximately $550,000. It's a vehicle that commands presence, much like Gauff herself, and its jet black aesthetic and starlit interior serve as a perfect metaphor for a champion who has learned to thrive under pressure. The Cullinan is a rare choice for someone her age, signaling maturity beyond her years and a taste for the finer things. Next in her high-powered lineup is the Bentley GT Speed, a $425,000 masterpiece of engineering and elegance. With its sculpted body, blistering speed, and handcrafted leather interior, it's the kind of car built for someone constantly in motion. The Continental represents Coco's dual identity, fierce competitor and style icon. It's also the most frequently spotted car in her rotation, often seen in Miami or Delray Beach. But perhaps the most exhilarating addition to her garage is the Aston Martin DB12 AMR. coming in at a cool $400,000. This grand tourer is less about status and more about performance, featuring a bold silhouette, next-gen driving tech, and a V12 engine that echoes like a rally cry. For Coco, who enjoys weekend road trips up the East Coast, the DB12 isn't just transportation, it's therapy. Each car in her collection tells part of her story: power, grace, and unapologetic ambition. These aren't vanity buys, they're milestones. They symbolize how far she's come from the family van that once carried her to youth tournaments across Florida to the roaring engines that now accompany her success. It's a garage that doesn't just turn heads, it turns pages in the story of a modern-day champion. While Coco Gauff's athletic and financial accomplishments dominate the headlines, her commitment to philanthropy and social justice often goes underappreciated, though it is no less impactful. From the beginning of her public career, Gauff has positioned herself as a voice for the voiceless, using her rising platform to speak out on issues far beyond tennis. One of her earliest acts of advocacy came at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, when she delivered a powerful speech at a protest in Delray Beach, urging her generation to stay involved and fight for justice. That speech, delivered without notes and with raw emotion, was widely circulated and marked her as a serious force in activism. In subsequent years, she has quietly poured resources into charitable causes, co-founding a nonprofit focused on improving educational access for children across the African diaspora. She also made headlines for her work with animal rescue organizations and environmental causes, including the Ocean Conservancy. In 2024, she donated over $100,000 to establish scholarships for Black tennis players attending HBCUs in partnership with the United Negro College Fund. And that same year, Time magazine named her one of its Women of the Year, not just for her wins on the court, but for her wins in the hearts of people fighting for progress. Her generosity is not limited to money. It includes her time, her energy, and her unwavering stance on doing what's right, even when it's unpopular. Gauff's activism is rarely performative. It's personal, rooted in family values and a deep understanding of the platform she occupies. She often cites her grandmother's words, "There's more to life than tennis," as the mantra that keeps her grounded. And whether she's hitting forehands or funding futures, Gauff continues to prove that greatness isn't just measured in titles, but in the lives you impact. Even as Coco Gauff's star continues to rise, her journey has not been without turbulence. With visibility comes scrutiny, and Gauff has weathered more than her fair share of public critique and media speculation. Her performance at the 2022 French Open final, where she lost decisively to Iga Świątek, raised early questions about her consistency in high-stakes matches. That skepticism resurfaced in 2025 after early exits in the Qatar and Dubai tournaments, where critics on social media labeled her overhyped and mentally weak. While Gauff largely ignores the noise, she's not immune to the emotional toll such backlash can bring. Following a surprise upset at the 2024 US Open by Emma Navarro, she admitted in post-match interviews, "I don't want to lose matches like this anymore," channeling her frustration into determination. But the controversies haven't been limited to performance alone. In 2025, a lighthearted photo of her holding a miniature French Open replica instead of the full-size trophy sparked a Twitter storm, with some fans criticizing the tradition and others mocking the optics. Andy Murray's tweet about the incident brought mainstream attention to the issue of gender equity in sports representation. Adding to the tabloid buzz, rumors have periodically surfaced about Gauff's personal life, including speculation about a budding romance with Atlanta-based actor-musician Jalen Serra. Though no confirmation has been provided, paparazzi photos and subtle Instagram clues have kept fans guessing. Still, Gauff has remained characteristically reserved on the matter, stating simply, "I'm young, and there's plenty of time for that." These episodes, whether rooted in loss, logistics, or gossip, serve to humanize a figure often idealized. And through it all, Gauff demonstrates the grace under pressure that separates true stars from fleeting sensations. As Coco Gauff enters the prime of her career, the road ahead is paved with both expectation and opportunity. The tennis world is watching closely as she prepares for Wimbledon 2025, where fans and analysts alike believe she has her best shot yet at completing the coveted trifecta of Grand Slam titles. With 2 major wins already under her belt, one on hard court and one on clay, the historic grass court championship would place her in elite company and cement her status as the face of a new tennis generation. But Gauff's ambitions stretch far beyond winning matches. Sources close to her team suggest she's exploring the possibility of launching a signature fashion and footwear line with New Balance, potentially making her the youngest female athlete to spearhead an entire brand division. Talks of a Netflix docuseries are reportedly underway as well, offering viewers behind-the-scenes access to her rigorous training, private life, and the unique pressures of fame at a young age. Meanwhile, the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics loom large on the horizon, and Gauff has already expressed a strong desire to represent Team USA, not just in singles, but alongside a hand-picked doubles partner, possibly her longtime friend and occasional teammate, Caddy McNally. There's also buzz around Gauff branching into broadcasting and media. In interviews, she has expressed admiration for figures like Serena Williams and Dwyane Wade, both of whom have leveraged their athletic legacies into successful media and investment careers. Industry insiders speculate that Gauff could become a powerful investor or sports executive post-retirement, especially if she continues to build connections with companies like UPS and Rolex. But for now, her focus remains squarely on the court, with her unique blend of athletic dominance, market savvy, and social awareness. Coco Gauff stands on the verge of something bigger than just another championship. She is poised to become not just a sports icon, but a voice that defines a generation, balancing the pressure of global fame with the poise of a seasoned veteran and the curiosity of a 21-year-old who knows her story is still just beginning. From humble beginnings in Atlanta to standing atop the podium in Paris, Coco Gauff's journey reads like a modern fairy tale, but with every chapter grounded in the real-world grit, sacrifice, and resilience that separates champions from dreamers. She has earned over $35 million before the age of 22, graced the covers of magazines, and dominated not just opponents on the court, but expectations off it. Yet, what makes her story resonate isn't the wealth or the accolades. It's the rare ability to remain grounded amid global fame. Whether gifting her parents a $1 million home in appreciation, comforting young fans after matches, or turning online criticism into personal growth, Gauff operates with a sense of maturity and vision that extends far beyond tennis. Her real estate empire reflects her strategic foresight, her car collection, a nod to taste and success, and her philanthropic work, a testament to values instilled long before she lifted her first trophy. The balance she maintains between personal ambition and social impact is not accidental. It's a product of family, culture, and fierce self-awareness. As fans, analysts, and brands continue to follow her every move, the most compelling aspect of Coco Gauff's ascent may not be what she's already achieved, but what lies ahead. Will she become the youngest athlete to complete the career Grand Slam? Will her nonprofit reshape access to education across Africa? Will she reshape how young athletes balance business, activism, and elite competition? These questions are not just hypotheticals. They're real possibilities for a woman who has already defied every timeline, stereotype, and barrier placed before her. And so, as the world watches Coco Gauff continue her ascent, on the court and far beyond it, one thing remains clear. This is no fleeting phenomenon. This is a legacy in progress. For those inspired by her story, the journey is far from over. Stay tuned.